Good evening and welcome to another episode of Just Another G.I. Joe Show, episode number 6. As you can see, I'm joined with a bunch of co-hosts today. I'm your host, Mike, and let's start it off with Evan. Tell people where they can find you, Evan.
Hey guys, I go by Duffman on his tank, Yojo's, place like that, and then on Facebook, I'm just good old Evan Foster. I am frequently at the Burbank show and the Joe Cons, wherever those are.
Fred.
I'm Fred, owner and admin of JoeBattleLines.com. So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Instagram, pretty much anywhere you look for the word Joe Battle Lines, that's me.
Rick.
And you can find me exclusively on Twitter as Shattered Glass Jazz.
And our special guest tonight is Jesse Rich. Tell me where to find you, Jesse.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Not a lot of Joe sites. I'm on Allspark and Cybertron. You can find me under RID Night Viper or just Jesse Whittenrich or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Just to give everyone a little bit of updates, if you haven't received any emails or anything, we're 95 days away from JoeCon. Also, March 16th, which is this Thursday, is your last day to sign up for the club to get your free 3 3/4 figure or your 12-inch figure. More or less, it will be a 12 a.m. midnight that you have until sign up. Unless the club extends it out, they did send an email out stating that they had realized that a lot of people were not getting the emails for decline notices on their credit cards. So they may or may not give us a couple extra days or not. I'm not too sure on that. Also, pre-orders have gone up on the 3-pack Cobra, female Cobras. And the new 12-inch, which is a throwback from Super Joe.
Super Joe.
And we'll be showing some pictures on that in a little bit. But those are all up for pre-order. They are scheduled for an early April release. So hopefully those will be out soon. Also, they mentioned in an email that they will be putting up a carded big lob on the club site and the 12-inch uniform for the Man of Mystery, which is this year's free 12-inch figure. I actually emailed Brian on this to get it kind of like a ETA of when the pre-orders will go up or when they'll ship. If there was before JoeCon, after JoeCon. He did state that these will go up for pre-order once the boat has shipped with the items on board. So once they are coming from China is when the pre-orders will go up, but they will ship out after the free figures go out, which they said will come out in late spring. Excuse me. Also, if you want to follow us on Facebook as Just Another G.I. Joe Show. And then also I have the page JoeCon 2017 Unofficial, where I post everything the club posts. But you can also follow the club on Facebook, Twitter, underneath G.I. Joe Con as well. We're going to go to a screen share over some information that the club gave us and some pictures. See if I get it right. We know I'm not very good at this.
We believe in you, Mike. We believe in you.
Do it.
Let's see. All right, we there?
Yay!
Yep.
First time. Got it on the first time. All right, like we said, to be current on the figures, or the to be current on the your club membership, you get your free 12-inch or 3 3/4 inch, as long as you're signed up by this Thursday, March the 16th, which I'm sure is by 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also, if you plan on being a dealer for JoeCon, if you want to get the booth deal as there's a $25 booth rental discount on multiple booths purchased until March 15th, which is Wednesday of this week. So if you're looking to be a dealer at JoeCon, hit them up there. Also, another little tidbit news was that that the last figure subscription service we got was number 2 was delayed because of manufacturing issues in China. So we got box number 3. Well, apparently that they had a problem getting the container over from China. It was supposed to be sent out before the Chinese New Year. It wasn't. And then apparently it was held up in customs. And so we are going to be getting box number 4 instead of box number 2. So when you get your box and it says 4, don't think you're special because you got box number 4. You're not special. You're like the rest of us. We're all getting box number 4. But if you get box number 2, I want to know what it is. Also, the convention deadline for JoeCon this year is May 31st. That is the last day you can register as an attendee. And then if you want to register after that, you can do late registration at the club booth or club info booth. Is that where it's at, Jesse? Is the club info booth the next day?
Usually is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. The club info booth is that's usually outside the dealer room. Mm-hmm. So you can do all that there. One question, as you can see here, I posted a question to the club because of the, the container being held up. I was kind of curious, is this the same container that has Transformers Figure Subscription 5.0 in it that we've been waiting for quite a while? I understand, things happen, but I know we've been waiting a while on this here as well. So hopefully, if you're a Transformer fan, we're getting those really soon. If you're a Joe fan and you're getting the subscription, check your USPS account. I actually checked mine, and I have a package being tracked from the club down there. So, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the Joe side of it because I have 3 subscription services for Transformers, so I would have more than one tracking number, I'm sure. All right, we are going to go.
Don't open that guy's email. He's a tool.
I know. I don't know why he keeps emailing me. Well, this isn't the right one either. Hell. Let's see here.
Oh, go back up a little bit. I sent you. There's a couple emails there. You got to expand out that whole thing.
Maybe it's down here. Well, crap.
Click in one of those gray bars up there. You go up, click down, your other down. Click in there somewhere. Now go up a little bit more. You see each of those lines? Each of those lines is an email.
Oh, see? I would have known that. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. All right. For you Joe collectors who are 12-inch collectors, and I'm going to be honest, I was not much of a Joe 12-inch collector by any means until last year when I purchased the box set from my JoeCon, which I was really impressed with. And then I actually won a 12-inch figure during bingo that night. And I've picked up the Talking Joes, and they're really good figures. And the club, I'll be honest, the club has really knocked down the park this year on the 12-inch line. I mean, if you're not a 12-inch, collector, you got to admit what they're giving the 12-inch collectors is pretty, decent. And this here is the Super Joes. It was short-lived. Back, what was it? Was it the late 70s?
Yeah, it was 77 and 78. It's what essentially replaced the Adventure Team when oil prices got too high, and Joe went from this to this.
Okay, as we can see, the middle one was the original one.
Actually, with this, on the left you have the club's version,
right?
And what they did is they took, I believe it was Sebastian Gorman from 2013 set, which was their Spy Island homage, and they kind of did a fusion of him with the other two. So Gore, out of Super Joe, was this weird reptilian thing, and Darkon was like a green sort of half human, half alien scientist Well, they took the two together. They got chocolate on their peanut butter on their chocolate, and they made a Reese's version of Dark and Gore, half man, half monster.
Okay. I personally, I like it.
Yeah, it looks
This
cool.
one here is, let me look it up real quick. The pre-order on this one, which is, currently up right now, it is $82, the pre-order.
72.
This one, okay.
72 for this one.
Okay, this one's 72. This will ship out early part of April. Our next one here. Go ahead, Fred. You got more info on this than I do.
Sure. What this is on the left, you've got the original Super Joe Commander, which was, again, I think he was about 8 inches or so, maybe 7. And he had this weird light blasting ray in his chest. And so what they did is the club basically took a 12-inch adventure team member, kind of tried to replicate the uniform, and then since they weren't going to retool, a whole new backpack and all that to simulate it, they gave him an adventure team flashlight and a rifle, and then they gave him this little green critter with him. And that little green guy, Mike, if you want to go to the next picture, is actually an update of the mechanical monster from the other way. I'm sorry, the other direction. In Super Joe, they did a mechanical monster.
I don't think
called.
You didn't give me.
It's in the next email. It's in the next one.
Oh, so I didn't know.
Yeah, they did a critter called Terron, and
Oh.
Terron was actually motorized. So when Terron would actually march across the floor toward you. Now, I've heard some people say that this is not an original tooled piece. It's actually, I think it's people are comparing it to one of was it Schleek or one of those? I don't know where their version of Terron came from, because he looks more scorpion than the original Terron ever did, but it is kind of a cool inclusion. And this is why I think he's the $82 set, where Dark and Gore is only $72, because you're getting the Super Joe Commander and you're getting a diminutive version of this creature for him to, well, not really fight, but more like kick off his leg.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said before, if you're not a true 12-inch collector fan, you've got to admit what they're doing with the 12-inch line this year alone is really, 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 really good. I mean, I'm really impressed with it. To be honest with you, because they let me see if I can find.
While Mike's looking for that, I do like the fact that they tried to connect Super Joe with a previous 12-inch set. I think that's kind of a cool sort of way the club is kind of taking their own mythos and kind of going from their own adventure team chronology kind of into Super Joe. Because Super Joe is this weird anomaly. The Real American Hero people don't really know too much, don't really follow it much. The 12-inch guys kind of don't really follow it because Super Joe was shorter, not in scale. The construction didn't hold up as much. So it's kind of neat that they're at least doing something with it.
Right. And here's the picture I was looking for. This is we haven't really gone over this since we've been doing the shows. Actually, I've had to write everything down as I go along now. But this is the 12-inch membership incentive figure that you'll get for free as long as you've joined the club by the 16th, which is this Thursday. This is the Man of Mystery. As previous club figures have shown in the 12-inch line, you will basically get the figure and probably maybe like his skivvies and a t-shirt. And this here will be the set you will get extra. As Brian had said in the email to me about the suit, but you basically get the gun, the paper, the bag, a satchel bag, yes, the pants, the boots, the jacket, the sword. And I'm assuming that is a tomb. Is that what that is, Jesse? Do you know about that at all?
I don't.
It looks like it's like a tomb.
As much, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like the old adventure team sarcophagi.
Okay.
Is kind of what it reminds me of. The one from the Mummy's
like
Tomb.
The one that came with the little 6-wheel.
Yes.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you'll get from the club, which is pre-orders will go up as soon as it's on the water heading this way. And I'm gonna don't quote me on it by any means. Last year's extra, the suit for the Mike Powers was $45. I would say maybe in the same ballpark, maybe a little bit more, since the club has gone up on some of their prices on a lot of their items here this year. So I'm not for sure 100%. Again, don't quote me on it, but I want to say at least a minimum of 45, if not, a little bit more than that on that one. And we'll go ahead and see if I can find it. And this is Big Lob. Again, if you're a member by this Thursday at midnight, you'll get this figure free. It will also be up for pre-order, carded, and also, I'm assuming, will be made available at JoeCon as well to get autographed by the is it David Sanders? It's David Sanders. Sanders is his last name. He'll be there at JoeCon all weekend long, including the Go and Ticket reception as well. But again, that will go up for pre-order once it has hit the water heading this way. No price point on that was given to me on either of the items, Brian. Let's see, we'll go underneath. And also, for y'all didn't know, the pre-orders also went up for the female Cobra Troopers 3-pack set. You get a redhead, a brunette, and the black hair. Is that what it is?
Looks to be, yes.
Okay. And this is what you get here. The set is $65. This here, I know a lot of people complain about shipping charges that the club uses through USPS or FedEx. I found it to be cheaper. Me, it's really, of course, I'm in Arkansas, and from Texas to Arkansas, I never have nothing damaged. So usually with something like this, I have shipped in a bubble wrapper, sent, in a envelope, and I have nothing wrong with it, to be honest with you. But that's me personally. I know some people want to be, or they might never open them, or they might, who knows, maybe a roll container will roll on top of it. I don't know. And damage them, but I take that risk myself. The shipping on that was $3.50 to ship that to me. All right. Oh, gosh.
What do you guys are you guys all pre-ordering any of this stuff? I'm just curious from our panel here tonight. What are your thoughts on any of this?
I actually have pre-ordered. I pre-ordered the 3-pack, and as soon as I come up with enough money, I'll be getting the 2 12-inch figures as well. Now, I think that let me say something real quick before I forget. That was one of the questions I did ask Brian when I did email him, was that will these be available at JoeCon? And he says that's if the supply is still there. So I don't know if the club is making a massive pile of these or not. I wouldn't think with 2 years ago they are. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But it will be, there's no guarantee that if you're waiting for JoeCon, that these figures will be there, that they'll have them still. So that's why I am going to pre-order all 3 of the items, which I already did one. I got to get the other 2. Rick, did you pre-order anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Real American Hero stuff. I'm not into their 12-inch stuff. But it's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, I'm gonna get the 3 ladies. This
coming from a man with all that hero,
all
that 12-inch stuff behind you. You're not in 12-inch Joes. Come on, man.
I just don't like those type of.
Yeah,
I like 12-inch figures, but not those.
Evan, what about you?
I have not pre-ordered them. I probably will eventually. I think we have till April.
It ships out they said they'll ship out the first part of April.
Yeah, I think it was April. That's how long you have. I was debating if I was just going to wait because I want 2 sets, and getting 1 set, it's just cheaper to buy 1 set and then place an order for another 1 set, because for some reason shipping to bloody Fallbrook, California, 2 of them is $13.55, instead of just shipping one, which was $350. So I was gonna just order one of each, but then I'm like, maybe I'll just wait till JoeCon. So, but I have till April to make my decision. So.
Right. Okay. Jesse, I know you don't do you do a whole lot of Joe collecting altogether?
Not a lot, but I pick up what I do like, and I probably will get the 3-pack. You know, that comic book in the club magazine might be part of the reason why I'm getting that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. For people who are watching or will watch later on once the video show's over, we're going to do a little segment and try to get as many people involved as possible. Where, you know, a lot of people who go to JoeCon don't know the people who work for Fun Publications, or if they don't technically work for them, they offer their time as well. And, you know, some people don't know them by face, they know them by name, and they've never seen their face before. Jesse is one of those guys who, I'll let him explain everything, but I met Jesse back in 2010, which was my first Fun Publications show. And I actually found the comic, and I was flipping through it last night, that you autographed for me in the very big, when I first came to Robotcon. And it was like, you know, I was over amazed of everything there. And, you know, and I wanted to get everybody's autograph, and you and the two other guys who did the comic were there. I'm like, let me get yours. Let me get yours. Let me get yours. And so I got everyone's autograph. So, but like I said, that was 7 years ago. You know, I've been to over 10 Fun Pub shows now. But Jesse, tell them about yourself, and, you know, what you do for the club, you know, what you're currently doing for them. Or, you know, basically tell us what you can say. Please do not tell us anything that'll get you in trouble by any means. You know, the powers that be.
What I do for the Joe Club is it's pretty easy to summarize. I write the club comic and the convention comic now. And I do most of the colors for those comics as well, and the letters. That's about it. Outside of, I did help with the builds for the Transformers G.I. Joe crossovers. Like I did the builds and like the part call out, and I did some of the deco work. Most of my work was on the Transformers side, which right now is, you know, I think at 0. But yeah, I would help. I started out by doing a photo comic, and then I did some illustration work, and then that led to doing the letters, and then doing the comic books, and then working on the toys, and like doing everything that Pete Sinclair came up with. You know, whenever he found little odd tasks, he was like, "Jesse, you do this."
Now, you, if I remember correctly, JoeCon 2015. You did did you do all the cards for 2015? The card sets? That was Tiger Force.
I don't believe so. I did the zombie one. I did some of the colors on the zombie one.
Okay. Okay. I thought I could remember if you. I remember you showing them to me before the con started. I just couldn't remember if you told me you did some work on them or not. I just could not remember. So you're doing this year's club comic?
Yep.
And you're doing basically what, the lettering and did you write the whole story?
Writing the colors and the lettering. So Dan Canna, I believe, is the artist who does the line work.
And as far as the are you affiliated with the 12-inch mini comic that's coming in the box set this year?
I'm not part of the mini comic. I do when it shows up. I color and letter the 12-inch thing that's in the magazine.
Okay. So you okay? How long have you been doing Fun Pub? Been with it? I know it's at least 2010.
Let's see. I was in college still. My very first thing was actually with the folks who had the Transformers Collectors Club before Fun Pub.
Okay.
They released one single magazine, and if you're lucky enough to come across that magazine, I did like half of the artwork in there.
All right. Cool.
So, but yeah, then Pete came on to like Allspark in 2005 and all these other Transformers boards and asked for artist, submissions. I think my first thing was like a Nemesis Primal illustration that went into the. It had to have been 2006, 2007. I think of 2006.
Okay.
And yeah, that same year is when I started doing the comic book. I mean, the comic strip, the Mini Mayhem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Little Mini Mates.
Now, one thing I did forget to mention was Joe Con did announce that the next special guest is Adam Ritchie's, which I believe if I read correctly, he's done a lot of the file cards and artwork for the figure subscription service figures. Have you worked with him before, Jesse? Do anything together?
I don't think I have worked on anything that he's done.
Okay, and he'll be with us all weekend long at Joe Con, which like we just got that announcement, I think yesterday afternoon that they announced that. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fit. Yeah.
That was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So what do you? I mean, tell us, what you like about working for the club, or are you actually a payroll employee, or do you basically just go and work at the actual cons?
No, I'm a freelance contractor for the club.
Okay. And then you help out in the club store during everything, all the mayhem.
Yeah, yep.
When everyone's going crazy, like, what do you mean my card's declined? What? You get back there and run that again.
You didn't charge me enough. Well, oddly enough, nobody's ever come up and said that.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you that one, that's for sure.
I think I messed up like $200 once on the BotCon. I charged him by $200. He came back and he had a figure, an extra figure or something too. And he's like, I think I got this extra. I'm like, well, good thing you're here because you owe money too.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being honest, but hey, let me tell you what, you owe me some cheddar. Damn, that's just sad. I'll tell you a bad experience. Not a bad experience. It was JoeCon 2015, and it was Bill. He was running my credit card, and he ran it. He pushed in the numbers wrong, and he kept running it and running it and running it, and it kept declining, because he ran it so many times. My credit card company put a block on it.
Yeah.
And then you already had bad coverage from the Wi-Fi in that building to begin with. So it was like I had to call the credit card company because y'all said that you didn't get the money. Credit card company said they got your money. Here's an authorization code. And that was I was like literally like the first 5 people in the golden ticket line to get my stuff. And I was there over an hour. Because of poor Bill, which I mean, love him or hate him, Bill's a nice guy, but I was like, damn it, Bill. And of course, every time I see him, I always say, don't forget that decimal. Don't forget that decimal. So, if you see Bill, tell him. Don't forget
at the Springfield JoeCon. And that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a lot of
everybody running outside the dealer room to get the credit cards to work.
Yeah, they were all running out there with machines in the hallways trying to get the Wi-Fi. And then the bad storm came through. They were talking about tornadoes and everything.
Yeah.
So that was an eventful. You remember that one? Me and Jim stayed across the street at the
at the other hotel in the
with that huge window. We were living like fat cats. We came over there and saw that little bitty tiny room you guys were in. I'm like, what? Really? That hotel we stayed in.
We have this room sale, so we go over there and you've got it all in like this little tiny table because you got this massive room. It's like,
yeah, that room. Out of all the, I take it back. You remember 14? We were in Dallas. We had that huge room. The suite. Remember we had that like a damn storefront in that place. All the junk Jim brought. And that was my first JoeCon, and I think one of the best JoeCons I had. To be honest with you. Do any of you other guys have questions for Jesse, or anything about what he does?
Well, okay, I'm kind of curious.
Okay, Fred.
As someone who is, a big fan of Gung Ho, and I saw that you're using him in the strip, I'm just curious, when you go to write, does the club give you a list of characters that they want to see used in a story, or is it more like, okay, you've got so many issues, we know that you're going to focus on one item, the rest of the cast is up to you? Right, yeah. He does give me a list of the characters that he wants to see. Gung Ho is on his list, and he speaking with a Cajun accent and scar on his back. He's like, everybody forgets about that scar from the what was that, Marvel 16 or something like that, where Storm stabbed him. Yep. Gotta have the scar, and Larry Hama keeps forgetting that he's Cajun. I want him to go back to being Cajun. So. You guys know people show on the History Channel? No? Oh, anyway, I modeled is that any better? No.
I can hear you.
I based Gung Ho on the Swamp People show on History Channel, so I'm hoping it's not too over the top.
Is he still talking? Okay.
I think I lost everybody but Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear Mike. I can't hear anybody else. Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, well, cool. Before we go into our little segment we're going to do this week, I'm going to go back to screen share. And the club also did send out one non-mock-up. So here we have, this is an in-hand picture of the actual figure Avalanche, which I believe the club also did say that it will, this is not final. They will make adjustments that need to be adjusted. Damn it, the hell, where'd it go?
This is the joys of live production, kids.
Yeah. No F-bombs, no F-bombs. Give me a second. We should do like a side-by-side on that one. I didn't think about that just now.
Oh, with the Photoshop job?
Yeah, when that mock-up first went up, the first thing I said is I do not envy Lenny to have to make that all that green into white. Like, that's what to do with a digital mock-up.
Oh, I bet. I know. Excuse me. I know there was a lot of fandom really kind of backlashing. I wasn't even on this one. I was on a different page.
Mike, I'm putting together a side-by-side for you right now. So
keep doing that while I'm screwing everything up.
I have a question for Jesse. So you're also going to be doing the comic book for the concept?
I don't know if that's been announced yet, but yes.
Breaking news, Mike.
We promise not to tell anyone.
Yeah, no one watches this damn thing anymore.
Don't worry about the 5 people watching it.
Man, is that all we got watches? Man, that's.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I promise my mom won't tell anyone.
I was going to say my wife is not going to say a word.
Oh, it's even worse. We only got 4 people watching. I think I'm one of them.
That's not including. I was going to say, is that including us or no?
Oh shoot! There's only 2 people watching. All right, I do got the picture pulled up till Fred gives me side by side. But now these are what they get from the manufacturer in China. This is not the final. They'll make anything changes to it. My personal opinion, I think it looks 10 times better than that mock-up even looked.
Yeah, I agree.
The face is a lot better than the face we saw in the mock, which I knew seeing the mock-up was going to be what we weren't getting. It was kind of having an idea what they're going to look. You know, everyone see the mock-up, they go, "Oh my God, that's hideous. What are they thinking?" Blah blah blah. This here is, you know, the only complaints I heard were they were kind of thinking maybe the head was too big for the body. I could kind of see it a little bit. But
He's
I mean,
missing
gotta
his
remember,
microphone.
He's wearing a helmet, so if you technically took the helmet off, the head actually goes with the body. It's just that he's got a helmet, so it just makes it bulkier. That's one thing that I don't get, because with Marvel Legends, people complain about like Ant-Man. I mean, his head should be technically bigger because the Ant-Man head that's not his normal head. He doesn't walk around and go to the grocery store with that thing. Like, come on, people. That's his helmet. It should be bigger than, you know, his body. It's a helmet.
The 6-inch Darth Vader, like he's got these tiny hands. They're like normal sized hands, but no, Darth Vader has like these massive gloves, but little tiny hands on that Darth Vader.
I think sometimes they forget, you know, people forget it's like, oh, a helmet should be a little different sized than the head and things of that nature. It's, you know, but all right, Mike, I'm going to send you a shot that I just really quickly whipped up here. I will say I missed the microphone. I don't know why they. I kind of wish they would just do the add-on bit and give him his microphone back.
I haven't got your email yet.
Almost there, buddy.
Almost.
Stay on target.
Jesse, do you know? Maybe you'll know or don't know. If you can't say or you can, doesn't matter. And if you can't, that's fine. Is there a specific reason why the club went with retooling the weapons?
There, what did they go with?
Retooling the weapons.
Stand? Retooling weapons. I think that may have been Dave's input. He thought that was a pretty integral part to all the characters. Those weapons that they would be testing for the battle force.
Okay. Did you send that over yet?
Yeah, it's on its way. Personally, as a 1/18th guy, and I don't know how the rest of you feel, I think I might have been happier. I could have been okay without the original weapons, but have unique head sculpts and removable helmets.
Yeah. Well, the two that had removable helmets have removable helmets. The other ones, like Blaster, came with a removable mask, and then the other two had mics, and DJ also had a mic. And yeah, I agree. I would rather have those little mic attachments and the Blaster mask more so than those. I can't stand the Battle Force 2000 guns. I'd rather put nicer guns in their hands, not those weird ones. But that's
and the vintage ones are still pretty cheap on eBay. You can get them. You can buy your own and equip as you need.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you can get those accessories.
Okay. And here we go with the original, and then the mock-up, and then what they actually have in hand. And as you can really tell just by looking at the mock-up face and what we're getting close to, what we're going to hopefully get, is a huge difference from the mock-ups. I mean, for all you guys who are just, a lot of people changed their tune once they saw the in-hand picture, this week. And so that was a pretty cool deal. A lot of people changed their minds thinking, it was a lost cause. Maybe some, it was, they showed a mock-up and all of a sudden they're sold out of golden tickets.
Oh, the golden ticket finally sold out.
That was in the last email Brian sent that the Real American Hero golden ticket sold out. So that one sold out. So if you want to go with the golden ticket, you have to purchase the 12-inch golden ticket.
And I
believe
think
he
there's
saw
over 20 of those left.
Yeah, so there's still some to go. I know that's what I went with last year. So you can tell, like I said, I'm sure you can already see some differences, like in the helmet, the top of it, the camo's different a little bit. So, I mean, like I said, this isn't the final sample. It'll change over the course of what they deem to want to change on it, something like that.
It's funny, if you look at the mock or the Photoshop, he looks like a very mature, older fellow. And then the one mock-up they sent, it looks like a 17-year-old kid or something. They're very, very different, like, age looking to the look of those figures. So I'm assuming they'll have something in the middle.
I have to say I'm still not crazy about the head, and I think it's the face itself. Maybe it's because I'm used to some of the sculpts the club has been doing the last couple of years, where they have harder edges and they look a little more realistic and a little more grizzled. This almost feels like a nostalgic throwback to an older style of sculpting. It's softer, the way the eyes are painted.
It reminds me of the iceberg head, which was a mistake, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, this is going to be your first JoeCon. What do you think between the mock-up and what we're probably going to get?
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking, I've been to the bot cons. I've done 13 bot cons. I'm super into Transformers, but I also love Joe. I'm excited about JoeCon, first of all, but I think I said the one G.I. Joe show that I have been on, I expressed, I did Joe from like 82 to 88. And I never got the Battle Force guys. So, and I have a lot of vintage Joes. I have a lot of the modern stuff, but I don't have any of the Battle Force stuff. So for me, I'm hitting it from, I'm not deep in this. I'm just kind of on the outskirts of it. And so far, I'm really digging the box sets as far as the Joe team is concerned. I thought this one, I know you and I talked about it, Mike, just briefly. I thought this one looked great. It definitely looks better than the mock-up, but they usually do. I mean, I know I have a little bit of imagination, so I get the mock-up versus the real thing. But I'm pretty excited. I thought this one looked great. I do like the vintage weapons. I like the little throwback. I think it does a good job of kind of bridging the gap between just a little taste of the vintage thrown in with the modern aesthetic.
Okay. All right. Okay, since we've discussed that till it's dead as a horse. What we plan on doing?
It's as dead as Battle Force 2000.
There were a couple survivors.
Dodger.
Dodger, yeah.
Yeah, Dodger's the only one.
All right, let's see. I'm going to
Little PTSD for Dodger.
What we were going to be talking about tonight was we were going to talk about our favorite, our top 3 club toys and our top 5 JoeCon figures individually. And if you guys have them, if you're able to show them, that's fine. If you don't actually have the figure, you can tell us which one it is, which there's one I don't have that I'll mention. But Fred sent me an email of all his pictures on it. So Fred, go ahead and tell us here about yours.
Okay, now I'm just going to preface this with the fact that Mike sprung this on me because I didn't see it beforehand, like right before the show. So there was some healthy panic in my choices.
Good job, Mike.
I thought I told him.
We've been talking about it for 2 weeks.
But so the first picture that Mike has up is actually, it's kind of, I know this isn't on everybody's list, but I freaking love these guys.
Yeah, no.
And I will defend them vehemently until the day I die. And that is the 1/18th Adventure Team figures. And the first picture that I had up was the Land Adventurer with the camo. To me, this is the kind of stuff that I like to see the club do, where they blend the eras together so that we're not a 12-inch fandom and a 1/18th fandom, and then there's like 5 guys in the middle going, Super Joe. But I like to see where they bleed concepts over and kind of make a unified line. So Land Adventurer is just completely bad to the bone, including the simulated head they did. And I wish they would do more, quite honestly. I want my Bullet Man, Mike Power, and the rest of the team. Even though they didn't sell well at all, from what I understand.
They didn't? I think
No,
I think you're right. The Doctor one sold out quick, but the other three sat forever.
And it's. I had talked to Lanny about these at one point. He actually said that it was probably the decision to include the vehicles that actually hurt them because it pushed the price point way up.
Yeah, I think so.
There's some guys out there that did really awesome custom sets where they just did a figure and a bunch of accessories, and they kind of made replicas of the box sets. I think those would have done way better. So, and I'm waiting for Mike to move on to the next one. All right, don't freaking judge me. It's Billy. I waited forever for Billy. He looks like Snake Plissken, except for the eye patch is on the wrong eye. And this is the Devil's Due Billy. So when he was older, and I just happened to, I love this figure. So he's one of the bright spots of an FSS for me. And the last one's a no-brainer. I think this was on everybody's list,
Actually,
which was Big Boa.
I didn't do any figure subscription because there's so many. I did different ones, but I agree. Big Boa would be my number one also.
He just, I don't know, something about that design. Now, granted, his body's not as big as he once was because we're using the retaliation roadblock body for everything now. But he is just a hulking figure, and I love that Big Boa. So those are my picks. With Mike going, well, we're going to go to show in 8 minutes, so come up with something.
Don't hate me. All right. Now, also, since Fred was the only one that sent me pictures, we'll go ahead and knock out his top 5 JoeCon figures.
Okay.
Well, apparently I'm talking a lot now, so.
Be okay. I'll hear voice.
And again, so these were, again, with 5 minutes to spare. 2013's Night Force Repeater. It doesn't get much more badass than that, I honestly. Including the way that they kind of had, look, a lot of people aren't crazy about the cobbled together Steadicam rig. I got to give them props. It was kind of interesting that they decided to use that claw arm from the Sigma 6 high-tech drone, which was repurposed later with Tunnel Rat to make that extra little attachment. But I love this figure. Like, this is an awesome repeater. This was the debut of that head sculpt. Yes, he's on the rock block body, but there's very little wrong with this figure. I think he's even better than the FSS version.
It looks good.
Again, don't judge me. I like freaky looking figures, and I think Latal is hilarious. Or as I like to call him, Kermit the Frag Viper. Look, it takes a lot of guts to wear that outfit in that color.
Yeah.
And to wear it proudly. So
He does.
He's someone that I would see like running around with Deadpool. I love this figure. I like the fact that Alyosha Broken Arrow made the Eco Warrior Snake Eyes custom kit that you can swap the head off of this figure, and you can build a neon Snake Eyes also. So
That is cool.
That is pretty neat.
Just jump on that.
no brainer.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Horror Show. This was the club's probably stellar modern era set. This was the one where they really they upped their game a lot in what they were building. So Horror Show just has so many different bits and parts combined to make that jacket that I just thought he was awesome.
They knocked it out of the park with that whole set, I thought.
Yeah, that whole set's just gorgeous.
Yeah. All right.
All right, this is my panic choice. I don't know if I really necessarily would have picked this, but I needed
What
something.
you need is 5.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, good Lord, which one?
I actually just like the colors on him. I think that's it. I'm not really crazy about the whole welder's helmet salad snot guard thing he's got on his head. But the color scheme on this figure is just awesome. Like, he just pops off the shelf, so. just for color deco alone, that's the reason why he made the list.
You made the list. Oh,
And then my last one,
hold on. How do I get down there?
scroll down.
I did. I'll scroll down all the way.
Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. I did Metalhead from 2013.
15.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, what was it? Yeah, it was 15. No.
Yeah,
Yes.
15.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
2015.
Oh, yeah. I drink. Metalhead was just off the charts cool.
Yeah.
You know, up until that point, the only Metalhead that was out there was the New Jersey Collectors Convention unofficial version, which was really good. But let's be honest, there were very few of those made, and the fact that the club put together a Metalhead with a good looking head sculpt, they finally used those Pursuit Cobra Duke rocket launchers in a way they should have been used. I just love that figure. I only wish that he had like what the Jersey one did, the little name tag that said, "Hello, my name is Metalhead." I thought that was cool that they did, but yeah, you can't go wrong with him.
Mhm. All right. Evan, why don't you go and tell us your top 3 club figures,
All
or
right.
show us, or whatever you're going to do.
Number 3, cross country. I don't know where my loose cross country is, so this is my carded one.
Solid.
I love the head. I pretty much love everything. I love the little wrench he came with. The head sculpt was fantastic. I was very happy to get this figure when they announced it. Very, very good job. And I believe we also got that year the Havoc 2, so obviously it went well with it.
All right.
Went really well with that. I would have loved to have got a original new Havoc, but you know, the Havoc 2 is nice. Number 2, here she is, Pythona. She's beautiful. Really like this figure. Everybody wanted her, and we finally got her. And I think the club did a really nice job from the hands to the head. She didn't come with all that many accessories, just her little tentacles and her file card. But in my opinion, you know, just a really, really nice figure. I love the colors. Like I said, the head sculpt with the earrings, you know, and they're not just like little earrings. I mean, they had to put detail on them. They're quite long. They're like little teeth or gold something. I don't know. Anyway, nice detail. And my favorite is Fancy Footloose. I love Footloose. Have as a kid, and when we finally got him. I mean, for me, I couldn't understand. I'm like, when is Footloose coming out? I mean, it was ridiculous. They should have given us this figure within the first 2-3 years, but we had to wait till 2011. And no, 12. It was after Dial Tone. So when we got him, I was very happy. You know, he's got the backpack that's got the little his flashlight and knife in there. Just a really cool, fun figure. So these were my top 3 club figures.
Okay. Rick, what did you have?
Yep. And so last summer was the first time I even started getting into the Joe club stuff. Like I said, I was always into the Transformers. But Mike hooked me up with Pythona, and that brought me back into just collecting Joe in general. I had been collecting pretty deep about a decade ago, but I jumped back in, and I've been filling some holes. So I might have like maybe 25 of the club stuff so far. So they're in no particular order, but I would say Pythona is probably the most important. And I thought they did a terrific job with that figure. I think the second one, which I didn't know even existed until I started to go back and look at what the club had done, was the Billy figure. And I definitely collected the comics pretty heavily, both the original stuff and the Devils, you know, all of that. So when I saw that existed, and I saw that they actually did a really good job with it, it looks great. The accessories, the sculpt, everything was off the charts. And then my third one that definitely has a place at the front of the lineup is Bomb Strike. I think that figure is really cool as well. And you know, for the longest time, I've been like I've had like kind of my Joe crush on Courtney or CoverGirl. So now I have two ladies that I fancy.
All right, Jesse, what did you have for your top three?
I didn't rank them in any order, but I have Interrogator. I thought that figure turned out really nice. Like the helmet's a little soft sculpt, but I liked how the choosing the bulletproof vest, but then the tie and everything, it just perfectly for the character. And the new subscription Dark Lawn, just those colors are just, I like it. So, and last one is the Marissa Fairborn for the crossovers, just because she's the figure that started Transformers G.I. Joe crossovers, and it turned out well. I mean, I don't want to say too much about it because I did the build head to toe, and I don't want to do that. But what do you guys think? Did that figure turn out? Sure.
Yeah, I thought it did. It's in my collection.
Looks good.
I give it a solid.
All right, for my for my top three, well, damn it. Well, right now I have a bald one. Her hair just fell out. Hyatona.
It happens later in life, Mike.
I already have happened to me. Bald. Anyways, I really like the Pythona one. It came out really good. That was in my top three. Also, Cesspool, which was in the figure subscription, I believe 3. I really digged him because of the scar on his face. The way they detailed that really well.
Yeah, I still need him. I need him.
Yeah, he turned out very, very well, and they actually ended up reusing it for Flying Scorpion?
Yep.
Yeah, last year's box set. And then the other one is, I don't have it with me, is a Big Boa. Like everyone else, that's just an honest. That was one of the, I actually think that was the best figure as far as figure subscription goes they have put out, was Big Boa by far on that one. All right, Evan, go ahead and show us your top 5 Joe Con figures.
All right. Mine's a little weird. All right, yeah. I'll just go with these. What I sent you is completely different because I didn't want to dig them out. So, number 5 is Sergeant Thompson. This was from the 2009 convention. The first time they did the modern figures. He came in a 3-pack with Shimmick and Redneck. And, you know, I just really, I just like the camouflage and the detail. You know, he's got the Argentinian flag here on the shoulder. I just like how they did that. Just a very, very cool looking figure. For 2009, when we first got modern, a lot of people were upset because the box set was just the Vipers, and then you had the twins and you had Baroness. But I thought they did a solid job with the exclusives. We got the 3-pack and then the 2-pack with the jetpacks. I really like that too. So that's number 5. My number 4 is from the October Guard set is Sergeant Major. There's his final card. A great figure. I just as far as playing wise, you know, horror show and this figure, you can't really do nothing because of the coats. But as far as displaying, they look fantastic. I just, you know, this just figure pops out. He just looks so good. The red, the black, I mean, he's mean looking. He's great. I have him standing next to my Destro from that set. Really like this figure. And that whole
what
set
year
from
is that?
This was
Which year?
2012.
Okay.
2012, this one came out. And it came out in a 2-pack with Dark Lawn, which was also, everyone was like, gosh, I remember when the second market, people were going crazy for this.
Oh,
set.
yeah.
But now Dark Lawn is going to be an FSS. So I wonder if the 2-pack, it could get easier to get. I don't know. Now, 2011 actually had my favorite 2 figures, but I didn't want to get them because they're buried. So I got what I could get. This is number 3, and this is the Python Patrol Motor Viper, which was with the Python Stinger, which awesome vehicle, awesome figure. They came together. They were fantastic. I wish I bought like 5 of these at the time, just so I had an army of them. But I only have 1, and I'm not going to spend $300 or whatever the ridiculous price is to get more of these. But it is a great little figure. The gun he came with actually has a little, you can put it on the Stinger or on the Python Patrol Stinger. You know, you put it on the hood and, you know, he drives and then he gets out of the Stinger and plops it in his hand and starts shooting Joes. A really cool figure. I like the paint apps. Anything Python Patrol, I pretty much, I mean, crap, they can like Python Patrol a shoe and I'd probably fall in love with it. I'm gonna get those. Okay, number 2. Another driver. Actually, my top 3 are all drivers. This is the Steel Brigade Delta figure, which in the whole Zombie Initiative set, this was my favorite figure. I mean, we got Zombie Steel Brigades, we got Goldhead Steel Brigades, we got a really cool clutch that had a chainsaw. But this figure is awesome with the Digicam pants, you know, just the jacket with the knives. You know, it came in the VTOL, you know, removable helmet. I mean, you give me anything removable, I'm like, oh wow, a helmet. That's why I wish they did more removable stuff. Like this year's set would have been great having removable helmets and mics, I should say. Really nice looking figure. I really liked how, and again, kind of like Python Patrol, I wish I bought a lot of these so I could have a little army of them, but I only have the 1 set, and I'm not going to go on eBay or whatever and buy multiples and then, like, not, you know. This is my favorite, number 1. I was really happy. It came in a 2-pack. She was the pilot for it's freestyle. She was the pilot for the new Night Boomer we got. Again, removable helmet. She has 2 actually. She's got this one, which you can just pop right off, and then she's got the one that when she was flying the jet. So she had 2 removable helmets. You know, she's got the American flag on the side of her arm here. Just lots of good detail. It was good to get just a female figure. You know, we've only gotten, what, in the box sets or even as exclusives. Isn't this the only female exclusive we've gotten in a 2 or 3-pack or anything? We've got.
You might. I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I know we got Crimson Asp, and we got a few others.
Night Force Lady J.
Sparta, yeah. But this is like the only one that came in a 2, 3-pack or a vehicle pack, so I thought that was really cool. Great head sculpt. Yeah, I think she's really nice. So these were my 5 that I chose.
All right, Rick, go ahead and tell us your top 5.
First of all, I got to say, after seeing the figures that Evan just showed, I'm going to be on eBay. So this was a bad episode for me to do. I'm definitely pretty much every figure you just showed, I hadn't seen like a better or like a close up of, or took the time to look at them a little more extensively. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. The only
Sorry,
the
now
only
you're
two,
going to be poor.
no, they look amazing. I've got the 2015 set, and I've got the 2016 set. Like I said, I started this last summer, and I was able to get all that stuff during the fall, which was a crazy endeavor, but I got through it, and I love those two sets. So the stuff on my on here are all stuff that I have. I didn't want to pick anything that I hadn't played with or just spent time with. Definitely, in no particular order, I really liked General Mayhem, and I like the kind of like the little Mask crossover because I do like Mask too. But I dug that figure as well as the Metalhead. I display those very proudly. I love both of those figures. I think from the Joe side, I like the Skydive figure. I thought he came out looking really nice, and I bought some display stands for the Sky Patrol fellas. Also like the Cobra Black Vulture. Thought that one was really well done. And then probably Cloudburst. Thought Cloudburst was well done too. I really responded to the two villains that look kind of dark and slimy, and that I like that sort of thing. And I also, like I said, I love like the flight stands and anything that's kind of dynamic. Before I started collecting the Joe sets, I have a Transformers room, and after this last fall, I have two of the shelves have turned into Joe shelves, and I have since put some of the Transformers in Tupperware. So I'm starting to cross over quite a bit.
That is great to hear.
Yep. All right, Jesse, go ahead and tell us your top 5.
Well, since everyone went ahead and showed her, I mean, Freestyle would definitely have been on my list, but turns out I was the panel room the last few of them, so I didn't. So these are my top 5 then. I just like specific Cobra Trooper figures where one panel in the comic book, they're just standing there like Chief O'Brien on Next Generation, like that online comic. I don't know if you ever seen that. Like, if these guys aren't sitting there doing their zombie thing, they're just standing there talking around. After that, I've got the Sky Striker. No, he doesn't have the removable helmet. But Rat was one of the only G.I. Joe vehicles I had as a kid, so I wanted that pilot figure since they released the Target reissue and they put what's his name in there instead. But I want the actual pilot, so I'm glad that Joe Kahn gave us that. Cobra Crimson Ash, just the character, but green and the eye patch really was something very out. And then October Guard Dana. I thought she turned out pretty well, and she's got the sort of thing that goes on for when she's in the vehicle, which I really wasn't expecting them to include, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then General Mayhem, Rick, you can almost do the Mask crossover there. So turned out I like the head sculpt and the jacket and everything. My honorable mention is Ozone for the show, just because the head sculpt at the time. And I had a little more meat on my face, and I had a beard and everything, and it was exactly like me. So I actually bought my second one. I have that sitting on my shelf. So.
All right. Excuse me. My 5, like the last 2 guys I mentioned, is General Mayhem. It's like my number 5. I enjoyed him because he just, after reading the comic, he just seemed like a really big badass, in my opinion. I really dug him. And then the next one after that was a 2012 Volzar. I really liked him because he just, I don't know, I'm more of a Cobra guy than anything else, and he just, he's got the removable helmet and, he had the little special lens and everything on him. Good head sculpt.
Yeah,
Kind of
he
like a
looks
little
good.
bit of a little bearded Jesse there. All right. And then to go back to 2011, Steel Cobra. Not a whole lot really going on with the figure, but it was just really a pretty awesome, I liked it because of the chrome head. And he was like the main, villain out of that comics or that box set. So I really dug that one a lot. And then out of the same box set, I had a Dial Tone, which is pretty much, I think, what the club gave us for the club membership one, except it was different colors that you just can't really find at a decent price. But I like this Dial Tone here. It actually turned out really well.
Yeah, see, I like that one better than the club one. They're actually different. I wish they used that one for the Tiger Force one.
And then this should be no surprise to Fred or Rick that my
Oh God, it's Tiger Force.
Yeah, yeah.
Tiger Force.
Yeah.
Yes, Lifeline.
My eyes, my eyes.
For people who don't know, I am like a huge Lifeline, even though he never had big parts or anything. Lifeline is like my #1 Joe figure, period. And I really feel like the 2015 Tiger Force set was like one of the best, sets around they gave us, in my opinion.
I love that set. The helicopter especially.
Yeah, that was a good surprise on the helicopter. They kind of teased us a little bit when they left. They sent like a little picture on Twitter of it was the eye on the side of the helicopter, and people kind of put it together on that one, and they figured it out was what it was. So he had a removable helmet. So yeah, good to remember. Now, out of all these sets, out of the modern era between 2009 and 11 to present, not including this year, if you had to pick one set to keep and sell the rest, which one would you keep?
Nocturnal Fire.
So you would keep
Nocturnal
13?
Fire. Yeah,
I'd keep Nocturnal Fire. That set is the bomb.
Yep, me too. It's my favorite set. I like all the Night Force guys. I like Army Builders. Yeah, that was a great set.
What year is that?
There's nothing
What
wrong
year?
with that set.
2013.
Okay.
What
Because
about you, Jesse?
I like the good guys and the bad guys in that one.
Well, unfortunately, I have had to sell some of my sets. So the one that I've kept is the 2009 Crimson Strike, just because that was actually my first Joe Con set. So that's why I kept that one.
Okay. What about you, Rick?
Out of the two that I have, Tiger Force, because the vehicles are amazing, and the villains are really good.
For me, it would have to be 2011 Mission Brazil 2, because the Python Patrol, and then it was just the characters we got on both sides were, even the add-ons, even like you talked about the Jeep and the Viper Rider. I mean, you can't. I've yet to see that thing under $300, and I want to get it, but I'm not paying $300 for it.
I think Mike's answer is definitive proof that he's been replaced by a Synthoid, because the Mike that I know would have said Tiger Force.
Yeah, but even though I love the Tiger Force set, 2011 was like my holy grail to pick up. And
So you have it? You have the 2011?
Yeah,
That was my first con.
I lucked out at, and sadly to say, at BotCon 2016, my first 4 purchases was nothing but Joe stuff. I picked up, let's see, I got I ended up getting the loose set off a buddy of mine that had it. I just couldn't believe it when I saw it, and we worked out a deal. And then I bought something from Jesse at his room-to-room sale. And then Jeremiah, I bought for him too. And then Jim sold me it was Tiger Force Creo set. So those are my first 4 purchases at BotCon, were nothing but JoeCon items. Yeah. But
I find it kind of interesting, with all of us talking about the club figures and the things we like the best, not one person mentioned Creo.
it might tell you a reason why.
Not one Creo.
Do you not have that 13 no more, or 14?
I got rid of all the. I had I was trying to get. I'm not a vehicle guy. Same with my figures. I'm more of just a figure guy. So when Creo came out, I just tried to get the little blind bags. Well, then you can tell there was a number. And then I tried to get just the figures from the vehicles. And then I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm getting rid of this garbage. And I just got rid of them all. So I don't have let's see, there was a Tiger Force one, a Zombie one, and a Night Force one, and they're gone. They're all gone.
Yeah, I need the Zombie one. Now I have all 3 of them again. So that's what I need.
Yeah, Creo.
But I saw it for like $100 on eBay, and I was like, "It's ridiculous."
Really? They're that much?
Yeah, when you're like the only 1 or 2 on there, yeah, I guess you can ask what you want.
Correct.
Hey, I got a question while I have all you veterans in the JoeCon stuff here. So I am not I don't have any idea what, as far as JoeCon sets on the show floor usually, or when they are at or in Orlando, how many of the Joe sets do you think they might have on the floor? Is it a rarity or is it not? If my plan was to go in and get some vintage stuff, but also try to get a set or 2 of the JoeCons, how hard is it?
It depends on the set.
Yeah.
Like Mission Brazil,
Good luck.
have not seen it for sale.
Okay.
October Guard, I did a couple of years ago. I think in Dallas, a couple people had it, but I haven't seen it since. Now the Nocturnal Fire, I do think I saw. I think I saw people selling that last year. If it wasn't last year, maybe it was Springfield. So that one's also. Anything after that, though, so the Zombie one, you should be able to get that. Tiger Force, you already have that. But
Okay.
The Zombie one was plenty available last year. So that one will probably be the easiest. After that, Nocturnal Fire, but those first 2, 2000, the Mission Brazil and that October Guard are.
Yeah.
2009 Crimson, that's also hard. What's funny about Crimson is I remember the club had that on there forever. They had bag sets and box sets, and then the box sets finally sold. And then they had bag sets they're clearing them out for $200 or something. Now you can't find them. So I'm assuming someone out there has 100 of the damn Vipers, just army built. Where did they go?
So that's the box sets. What about the souvenirs? Are the souvenirs even harder to find? Is that more than eBay? Just find them on eBay or the boards, ask around kind of thing?
The boards might
It's
be
kind
the
of a
best
mix
bet.
of. It's kind of a mix of both too, because a couple of years ago, I needed the Trigger and Lightning set from the Python Patrol convention set. I went on eBay, I bid, and I got lucky because it turned out the seller was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And so I made a deal there. But, then with some other things, I was really close to picking up a Red Mac and Shimmick and Thompson at a booth in Springfield where on Sunday they had them bagged. I don't remember what they wanted, but then they were doing half off everything on Sunday because they just, they wanted to go home with less stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they would have been about 50 a pop. And somebody beat me to it. I like, you know what? I went for lunch and then to the show floor instead of the other way around. So Subway cost me those figures. Damn you, Subway.
I know last year on the floor, I do not recall seeing any box sets for sale. I might be wrong, but I remember seeing some dealers, selling individual figures from box sets.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. I think Fred and Evan can confirm this. Your best bet is to go to Chris. The guy's usually right there in the front.
Yeah.
Does he have modern and vintage? I thought they were vintage.
No, he had modern. Modern was on the back side.
Oh, that's right.
All his vintage in the front. That dude has bukus and bukus and bukus of stuff. If you go anywhere on Deal 4, that's where you go first. Is him.
Text me his info if you have it.
Don't
after
even
the
try.
show.
Don't even try to. Yeah, just wait till the show because he's a show guy. It's very hard to get.
Oh, gotcha.
I got his email once because I was looking for some file cards and he gave it to me, and that was like 2 years ago. He hasn't replied to it. I just waited for the con in Colorado, and I'm like, "Hey, Chris, I was looking for these," and he's like, "Up, here you go." It's just much easier. Just go to the show, tell him what you want.
Yeah.
And it's really cool on how he gets the stuff for that year's box set. Like this year, he'll probably have all kinds of Battle Force 2000 toys.
Yeah, that's smart.
And last year, he had a lot of the Sky Patrol stuff. Vehicles, figures, carded. I don't know where he finds it at, or if he's producing it somewhere or what. I mean, the dude has. I'll tell you, there's a lot of good dealers there, but if you're looking for modern or vintage, your more or less best bet is to go there first. And he usually has the best prices on stuff than anybody else.
Yeah, the more you buy, he always bundles.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. That's how I do BotCon. I've got I've had two guys in the past at BotCon, and I would just go in. I know exactly what I want. I buy a lot. Give me a good deal. So that's exactly what I'm used to. I like that.
Yeah, and he will. He'll do that.
And I've had good luck in the past with Aaron from Roma Collectibles is another one.
Yeah.
He has a lot of loose stuff, and I was able to find, not only club stuff, but even I got an extra bench press, one of the Toys R Us bench press figures, which at that time was getting hard to find. And because I got enough stuff, he got me a ridiculously good price on all of it.
Yeah. Aaron,
just a stand-up guy.
Aaron's great. He is a great guy. He was actually in 2011, my first con. I went to his booth, and that's when I met him. And now I chat with him occasionally on Facebook, or I go to his store anytime I need a file card. And
yeah.
And every time I go to JoeCon, I hang out with him. He's a great guy, really nice guy. I mean, that's the great thing about JoeCon. I mean, you go there and everyone's great, decent, fun to hang out with. And then I go to San Diego Comic-Con and I want to just cry in the corner. Why am I here?
And that's what I've always said about JoeCon is that the atmosphere between that and BotCon are like night and day. I don't know if Jesse can agree or not, but I mean, I found JoeCon to be more genuine people to get along with and hang out with, drink with, have a good time with, shoot the crap with.
Right.
Where, BotCon is like, that reality show called those Housewives of LA. I mean, they smack a bitch, I mean. So,
there's a lot of niches in the Transformers.
Right.
There is.
A lot of niches. I try to not stay in one niche. I try to, talk to everyone, and sometimes it's tough.
Right, but the good thing, like I told you before, I mean, there's some guys that will, that I know will be down. A couple guys from Canada. Evan will be there, and I mean, it's just the atmosphere, the people, people know who you are, after a couple of years, and they know who you are, or they know you by your sign-on name or something, and they really relate with that. And I just found that to be one of the best things about JoeCon. And even when I went to my first JoeCon, it was, I went because it was only 4 hours away, and I wanted to see the difference between JoeCon and BotCon. And, I truly, found it to be interesting, genuine, and enjoyed the people I was with. Had a great time. I mean, hell, Jesse can vouch for it. We were getting drunk every night in that room.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it was good. We had good times.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
Is everyone on the panel tonight going this year to JoeCon?
Fred's not.
Fred.
No, I'm not.
And where are you located, Fred?
Central Illinois, so I was an hour north of the Springfield con.
And that's why he went. Well, Jesse will be there because he has to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I'm going because Florida was my first one, and that was my favorite one, 2011. I mean, it was nice weather. I mean, you had Disney World right there. I mean,
Yeah.
great.
We'll drop some more parachutes into the lake.
Nice. Yeah, the parachute outside, the people like trying to break into people's rooms so they can get the parachute figures that fell into the balcony. Bunch of crazies. I'm just like, and my wife's like, what is wrong with these people? I'm like, I don't know, man. They really want that figure, apparently.
which one was it that year?
That was the Viper officer.
Right, yep.
That's right.
They're like throwing them in the wind, and they were going in, random people's balconies. And I mean, the fandom is dedicated. I mean, they're just like knocking. Hey, can I check your balcony? You might have some figures. I'm like, wow. And this was my first time going, and I'm like, wow, these cats they're not shy.
Hardcore.
They really want that figure.
Well, let me tell you about last year's and I actually got to do the parachute drop, which was fun. But I mean, they were getting hung up in the wires and the trees.
This
And
last
people
one?
were in to fish
Okay.
them out of the trees and everything. I remember specifically throwing one as hard as I could, and it still didn't go no faster than when I threw it. And when it popped open, it just flew right down 2 floors to a guy that was standing there, and he caught it in his hand.
You think that's bad? Try throwing parachute Creos. Oh my God, what a nightmare that was. We had to do, they did the hit and run parachute Creo, and there's kids and people downstairs, and we're up in the parking garage, and then all of a sudden they just mainly went into the parking garage, and you just hear adults. And because it's echoey, I'm like, oh my gosh, are people dying down there? What is going on? I mean, they're like, ah! I'm just like, whoa.
Like a Walking Dead scene.
I mean, mobs of people. Those
I mean,
were
the
not
parachute
fun to
drop is like, it is like a workout and an adventure in the same aspect. If you get a chance to sign up, because last year it was the first X amount of golden ticket recipient, people to sign up. Now, Brian did answer an email on that where that's to be announced or to be determined. I can't remember what he told me, but they have not announced how they're going to do that yet. I hope they do golden ticket again because, I'm golden ticket. I read,
What's the basics to do it? Like, give me, I know nothing. I'm like, I know it exists, but I don't know how like you said, golden tickets. Do they give you a figure?
Well,
Do you purchase a figure?
Well, last year when you get to go on Wednesday night and get your golden ticket package,
hopefully to get there.
let's say
this year.
let's say they say it's the first 50 people. So the first 50 people in line can say, hey, I want to sign up for golden ticket or the throw, and they'll sign up. When it gets to 50 people, they're done. No more people can sign up.
Okay.
And then, at a certain time, you have to go up to like the top floor, wherever they're having it at. And then they come by and they give you, I think it was 3 figures each or 4, one of the two.
I think it
And
was
you
3.
open the pack. Okay. You open the package up and you put the parachute on them, and you give all the accessories back to the club employee, which once the parachute drops over, they can go to the club info booth and pick up the accessories. And then you take the parachute, you fold it a certain way, you tie, string it around the figure, I think it was, or around the parachute, and then they'll count down, and then everybody just starts chunking them over the top. And as soon as you throw it, it's like the parachute just pops right open. And either you did it correctly and it goes down correctly, or it goes down in a ball of fire. You screwed it up.
Yeah.
Right.
And it hits a small child and someone has a lawsuit on their head.
Yeah, I've done 2. I did the one with Night Force Crazy Legs, and then the Creo one.
So you did 2014?
I did, and the reason I didn't do this last one, and I'm not going to do it this time, is because I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old that will be participating in it, which is even better because I'm like, Riker, go get him, boy, and he's like,
You had your elbow ready to drop, and someone gets in your wife or kid.
No, it's kind of funny. He ended up getting 2, which was great because my buddy, I don't know, he wasn't able to get any. I don't know why. So these are the free ones, right? So I'm like, here, take this one. So hopefully, his name's David. Hey, David, you better be watching, and you owe me a parachute figure for this year.
Yeah, that 14 year was my first year, and the employees at the hotel were even snatching them up.
Probably eBaying them.
Yeah, once that thing's over with, look on eBay. They'll be up on eBay real quick.
Okay.
Everybody will be selling theirs on eBay, because the parachute drop figure is like very limited numbered.
Mm-hmm.
Last year they were really cool enough to make it a carded figure as well, which I thought was really cool. They have a carded figure and the loose figure.
Fantastic, agree.
Yeah, I was really shocked by that, to be honest with you. I thought it was cool, to get that as well.
Think we get that again this year? That'd be cool.
I don't know.
Even know what the figure is, but yeah, that I like that also.
Right, the carded thing was really cool on that. And then, like I said, employees were grabbing them. I remember a couple of them falling in like the little pond inside the hotel, the waterfall. A couple of them fell in there, and the employees snatched them up. But I think I got 1 or 2, maybe 2 at the most, even that. But it was like, I didn't know. I would walk towards one, and someone would just whoosh, snatch it up. They were brutal, man. I'd never seen something like that in my life. It was something different. I know that.
Well, you were up top, so you got to see Brian yelling at people because they were climbing the trees.
Yeah, I heard that. People were climbing the trees.
And they're not kids, mind you.
No.
These are like 30 and 40-year-old men. And Brian, is telling them over and over, stop climbing the trees, because then the club went and got them out. And, I don't know what they did with them. They probably sold them. I'm just like, whoa.
I think, Jesse, didn't you collect a lot of those? Jesse? Hello? I think he froze up on me.
Sorry, what was that?
I know. Did you help collect those figures that year out of the tree?
Yeah. The hotel staff came with poles, and they were sitting there poking at the trees. Getting all this. That was fun. Like, yeah, you go ahead and try to get those toys out of those trees.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that was something else watching all that. I really enjoyed it watching, because once they started hitting the floor, they're like, okay, everybody. There's like a big old mosh pit of everyone running in.
Yeah.
And it's like savages.
And I think they have the kids go 30 seconds to a minute before the adults. I think it's 30 seconds. It's quite a bit. They give them a good amount of time, and then they say, okay, everybody, and it's like, wow, they go quick.
It's supposed to go. I know the adults went early last year.
They did. I mean, some Joe collectors are about 5'2", so maybe they just think they're acting like, oh, I can get away with it. I look like I'm 12. No, dude, you got a beard and like doesn't
You're
work.
trying to pull a Gary Coleman.
You got a beard and a mortgage, and you're out there like,
Oh no, Mr. Savage, I'm here to get toys. My father wants me to have this.
Yeah, I just remember. I mean, the tree part I remember vividly. People in the trees, and I'm like. But then, I mean, these are the same guys that were making all kinds of Walking Dead sounds in the parking garage when they were trying to get the Creo parachute figure. So it's the same. I mean, I'm sure this year we'll have, this time next year for what potentially could be the last JoeCon. Who knows? We'll be talking about this and going, hey, remember last year all the weirdos swimming in the pond trying to get the parachute trick figures?
Yep, that is true. So, all right, I'm losing my voice. We've gone over an hour and 40 minutes. We're going to call the show there. I'd like to thank Jesse for joining us. And so if you guys who are going to JoeCon see Jesse, be sure to walk up to him, say hi, buy him a bottle of Jack, something. He likes Jack, I know that. Jack and Coke. So, yeah. So we'll go ahead and sign out. Fred, tell people they can find you at.
again, Joe Battle Lines. So just Facebook, Twitter, any of the social platforms, and on the web at joebattlelines.com.
Evan?
Duffman on Joe forums, like his tank, Yojo, stuff like that. And then on Facebook, Evan Foster.
Rick?
And I'm on Twitter as Shattered Glass Jazz.
And Jesse? Hello, Jesse.
I'm on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of Transformers, just Jesse Wittenrich or RID Night Viper.
All right, Mike, you can find me exclusively on Twitter as BotConFan1978, and catch us here in 2 weeks again for episode number 7, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then you can catch me and Rick next week on Cybercast on the G1 Hexatron channel, and then Galactic Gumbo at 8:30 Central Standard Time, where we will have one of the best arguments ever. You got to tune in to hear it. But until then, we'll see you next time.